Hi, I'm Emily of Emily's Line Fitness, and welcome to your Move Strong 25 bodyweight workout. Today's bodyweight workout is going to be day 9 of your Move Strong challenge, building strength at home over the course of 2 weeks together. We're at the second to last day. This is a huge deal. I'm super excited to get started. Today's routine is going to be body weight only. So no weights, no bands. You need nothing except for a mat or a soft surface. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. I should also mention today's routine is gonna be a little extra focused on your butt, okay? So in case that is thrilling to you, get pumped. We're gonna start off in our in our all fours position, just dusting off my mat. Hands are underneath your shoulders here, knees are underneath your hips. Take a moment to really widen your fingers super wide into the mat, like you're making 2 huge spider webs with your hands. And we're gonna take this into a cat-cow. So inhale, arching your back, drop your chest, or rather drop your rib cage, lift your chest, lift your chin. Think of shining your heart up to the ceiling. Hold here for just a moment. Can you lengthen your sits bones, the bottom of your pelvis, even more up towards the ceiling? Yes, good. Inhale, stay. Exhale, begin to curl your tailbone under, rounding your back, pulling your ribs up and away from the mat. Chin goes towards the chest. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. Good. Keep going just like that. Notice if you have any sticking points in your spine. Maybe you decide to take a moment in one of these positions and do a little extra breathing. Up to you. This should be really nice, feel really good after all the work we've already put in so far on days 6, 7, and 8. All right, and now we're gonna go away from this up-down motion and we're gonna do more of a side-to-side motion. So find more of a neutral spine is nice and long. And now you're gonna swing your left hip towards your left armpit, shorten your left side waist, and then swing your right hip towards your right armpit, shorten your right side waist. Wagging that tail, and as you wag the tail, you're kind of shimmying and shaking your upper torso as well. All right. Now, if you really like to be in control, we're gonna do this next move, and I also like to really be in control, okay? But we're gonna let things feel a little bit weird, a little wacky. That's okay. We're gonna be a little bit more open-minded. We're gonna start to draw some figure 8s with our bodies. So whatever that means to you, you're gonna start to draw those figure 8s. So I'm doing a little bit of a combination of the cat-cow and of that shrug. One side, one direction, and then you can reverse the direction. Let things feel a little bit weird. We're just moving things around, lubricating those joints so that they're ready to move for us. Nice. Coming back to center, find your stillness, lengthen the crown of your head away from your tail. And now we're gonna go ahead and reach your right leg back, tuck your right toes under, and then lengthen your left arm forward, keeping your left pinky finger on the mat for now. Use your right hand to press into the floor and draw your front ribs up and in towards your spine. Inhale here. Start to lengthen your arm and leg up and away from the mat. And then lower the hand down, lower the leg back down. Perfect. We're gonna take it 2 counts up. Exhale, up for 2. Inhale, down for 2. Up, down. All right, so we have begun the work. We got our nice little juicy warm up. And now we're gonna start to feel a little bit more heat building in the body. As you lift and lower the left arm and the right leg, you're giving a lot of weight into that right stabilizing arm. Very normal for you to start to feel some increasing tension in the right shoulder. If you're feeling your right wrist a lot, try to widen your fingers even more and press into the beds of your fingers. So into the part that gets really pruny when you take a bath. 8. In 7, we're gonna hold the arm up, leg up. 6. Last 5, keep reaching the crown of your head away from your tailbone. In 3. Last 2, hold your arm up, hold your leg up. Take a big inhale. Imagine your leg and your arm being pulled further apart from one another. And now exhale, start to round your spine. Think of your cat spine here as you pull your knee towards your elbow underneath you. And then inhale, reaching arm and leg away from one another. Just 3 more like this, going at your own pace. Exhale, round, round, round. Pulling the back of your rib cage towards the ceiling, pulling the front of your rib cage away from your right thigh. Stretch. 2 more. By now that right arm should be really feeling this tension. I've got 1 more. Exhale, round, round, round. Inhale, lengthen, 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 hold. Lower your left hand to the mat, keep your right leg lifted. And now come down to both of your elbows. There we go. Right leg is still lifted, flex your right foot. Rotate your inner thigh a little bit more up towards the ceiling so your toes are really facing the ground here. You're gonna exhale, bend your right knee, pull your heel towards your butt. Feel a nice tension build in the back of that right thigh, and then extend the right leg, kicking your heel away from your head. Exhale, curl for 2. Inhale, lengthen 2. All right. These are your hamstring curls. So called because we are using your hamstrings. Also using your glutes, right? So the butt and the back of the top of the thigh here. You can lift your right leg a little bit higher, but I only want you to lift that right leg as high as you can keep length in your lower back. So if you feel your lower back, or maybe you have the benefit of a mirror and you see a really big arch, lower your leg a little. Try to reconnect the front of your ribs towards your spine. Curl. Lengthen. I find it's moves like this where if I'm teaching in real life, I get some feedback. It's like, oh, I didn't feel my butt, I just felt my back. That's a sign to me that you're starting to arch your lower back, which means you want to think a little bit more about gathering those abdominals up and in. We can't troubleshoot everything, but we can make small adjustments so that we can hopefully feel it where we want to feel it. 8. In 7, we're going to hold the right knee bent. 6. Last 5, we hold that right knee bent. In 4, keep pressing the elbows down. 3, 2, hold your right knee bent. Now notice if your knee has started to swing out to the side. Can you hug your right knee more into the midline? And can you rotate your inner thigh ever so slightly more up to the ceiling? Good. Keep holding. Squeeze your heel towards your butt. Give me tiny pulses. Up, up, lift, lift. Good. Every time you lift, I want you to squeeze that right butt cheek. 8, 6, last 4, we're gonna lower it down. 3, 2, you can lower your right knee down, and now roll onto the left side of your body, lining up your back against the long edge of the mat behind you. We're gonna make a little pillow with our left arm, yes. All right, so I'm gonna bend my knees, bend my hips, and I'm gonna try to line up the back of my pelvis with the back of my rib cage and with the back of my head. Heels are gonna slide back so that your heels are also pressing against the long edge of the mat. And now point your toes. You're gonna lengthen your right knee up towards the ceiling. Hold here. Only open, oh, wow, feel that hip immediately. Only open the right knee as much as you can keep this right hip still, stacked on top of the left hip. We lower the right knee down. Oh my gosh, exhale, lift it up. Down. Now, I have some hip tension is what I can tell you right now. So I'm feeling this like immediately. If you're not quite feeling it immediately, take your right hand to your right hip and notice if as you move the knee, as you move the thigh really, you are starting to move back and forth with your pelvis. I want you as best you can to hold that pelvis stable, maybe even using the power of your right arm to really lock it into place. And then similarly, while I'm lifting and lowering the leg, I'm doing my very best to send my mental energy to the outside of my right hip. I feel this shortening in the outside of my right hip, and that's what's causing the thigh to move, what's causing the knee to lift. Lower and lift, perfect. Good, draw your abdominals up and in. Nice. 8. In 7, we're gonna hold the right knee lifted, and we're gonna mix up these clamshells a little bit. In 4, it's gonna get even more exciting. 3, last 2, hold the right knee lifted. Now, we're gonna flip the leg in the air. So right knee starts to point to the mat, right toes start to point towards the ceiling. Connect your knees, hold here. If you started to roll your right hip forward, stack it on top of the left hip once again. Squeeze the thighs together as much as you can. And now again, flip the knee in the air, knee up, toes touch. There we go. Inhale, knee to knee. Exhale, toes to toes. Inhale, knee to knee. Exhale, toes to toes. Now it can be for you that this motion is not very big, that's fine. I want you to honor whatever motion is presenting while keeping your hip frozen. Exhale and inhale. Oh, very good. Beautiful. We're almost there. We're gonna hold the knees together in 4. Last 3. Last 2. Hold your knees together. Really squeeze those inner thighs together as much as you can. Keep squeezing, squeezing. 4, we're gonna open them up. 3, 2, open them up, toes touch. Try to press that right knee back as much as you can. Keep squeezing, squeezing that outer hip, and now give me little pulses of that right thigh back. Exhale, pulse, 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 pulse. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll onto your back. We're gonna keep isolating that right glute and hamstring one more time. So feet are gonna walk in towards your sits bones here. Feet are hip width apart parallel. Arms can come down at your sides. Open your chest. Inhale. Exhale, start to curl your pubic bone towards your nose and roll yourself up into your bridge. Nice. Now in your bridge position, you're gonna have this long line from the shoulders all the way through the pelvis up to the knees. As best you can, I want you to soften your breastbone, the center of your rib cage, away from your chin, and let the tops of your shoulder blades melt into the mat. So this isn't a yoga bridge, right, where we're going for this extension or arch in the back. This is more of a Pilates style bridge where the emphasis is on keeping your spine long and neutral, and we're focusing more on butt and hamstrings. Holding this position in the right leg, just the left knee is gonna come into a tabletop position. Wow, 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 feel the back of that right leg. And now tap the left toes to the mat, just like that. Exhale, lift for 2. Inhale, lower 2. Lift for 2, and lower 2. Good, stay here if this feels good. If you're feeling rather unbalanced here, or you're starting to get some discomfort in your lower back, I instead want you to keep the ball of the left foot on the mat and just lift and lower your left heel, still causing that right side to carry a little bit more weight. So we're not losing the emphasis, we're just getting more stability. We're gonna hold the left leg up, in 4, in 3. Last 2, hold the left leg up, and now start to pulse your right hip up and up. And when I say pulse your right hip, I actually mean both hips, but the power is coming from the right foot drilling into the mat. Good, hug your right thigh into the midline a little bit more. Feel those inner thighs wake up. Keep pulsing, pulsing. 8 more, 8. Last 6, we hold it up. In 4, 3, 2, hold it up. Lower your left foot to the mat. Get your hips a little higher. And now sequentially, one bone at a time, we begin to roll our spine towards the floor. Spine down, hips down. You can hug your knees into your chest here. We're gonna stay on our back for just a little bit longer. From there, go ahead and hold those hands to your knees. Inhale. And then exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat, pressing your lower and mid back into the ground. We're gonna take it to a double leg stretch. Inhale, extend your arms overhead. Extend your legs long, only as low as you can keep the mid and lower back pressing into the mat. Exhale, pull the knees in, pull the chest towards the thighs. Reach for 2. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull in. Perfect. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull in. All right. Now you can also do one leg at a time here, one leg, one arm. If that feels like a better option for you, why not? Go for it. If you're feeling a lot of tension building in your neck, you can do the same thing, but instead of reaching your arms overhead, you can take your hands behind your head. We're gonna hold the knees in. 4, last 3, last 2, hold the knees in. Now take both of your hands to your left knee and extend your right leg on the low diagonal. When you look through your thighs here, your feet should be on the same line. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Perfect. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. In 8, we're gonna keep moving those legs. We're gonna take the hands behind the head. Last 4, 3, 2, keep switching the legs, but take your hands behind the head. Press your head into your hands here and try to pull the base of your skull away from the tops of your shoulders. 4, we're gonna take it to a crisscross, left knee in. In 3, 2, hold the left knee in. Rotate your right armpit towards the outside of that left thigh. Inhale, exhale, switch. Left shoulder to the outside of that right thigh. Switch, switch for 2, switch for 2. Keep curling your shoulder blades off the mat. You're almost out of this little ab burnout. And switch, switch, and switch. Last 5, last 4, we release in 3, 2, hold center and come down. Nice, you can rock and roll yourself up and over into a tabletop position. All right, so we're gonna go through that exact same thing on the other side, starting off with our bird dogs. Take your tabletop position. Hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. Take a moment to spread your fingers wide and to rotate the pointy parts of your elbows towards your thighs. Extend your left toes out, yes, and your right arm long. Needed a second there to remember. Left toes down, right arm out, pinky touches the mat. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift your left leg, lift your right arm, indeed. Inhale, lower down. 2 counts. Up and down. Up and down. Very nice. How are we feeling? We made it through one side. We know all that's to come. And that means that we can kind of conserve our energy a little bit better. It also means that the second side is going to feel faster because the moves aren't new, which is great. We love that. Keep pressing the left hand down into the mat. Try to widen the left shoulder blade towards your left armpit, away from your spine. Very good. Keep going, you've got this. Just a little bit more like this. And then we're gonna go for that rounding of the back. Last 8, we hold it up. Last 6, last 4, 3, 2, hold it up. Point your left toes. Now grow a little bit longer. Think of the head reaching away from the tail. And now the arm reaching away from the leg. Yes, inhale, prepare. Exhale, start to round your spine. Think of that cat back. Backs of the ribs pulling up to the ceiling. Fronts of the ribs pulling away from your left thigh. And then inhale, reaching everything long. Exhale, round, round, round. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. 3 more. Exhale, round, round, round. Good. That rounding of the spine is coming all the way from the head to your tailbone. So get that nice curve. Yes. Chin is going in towards the chest there. Last one. Round, round, round. Reach, reach, reach. Keep your left leg lifted. Take your right hand to the mat. And now keep your left leg lifted. Come to both of your elbows. There we are. Elbows are underneath your shoulders. Try to press your shoulders away from your ears here. Flex your left foot. Hug the left inner thigh up towards the ceiling a little bit more. And now we're gonna exhale. Bend the left knee. Pull your heel towards your butt. Inhale, lengthen the left leg long, kicking your heel away from your head. 2 counts each way. Curl for 2. Lengthen 2. Keep going just like this. Notice if you started to kind of arch your back or if you're feeling a little bit, let's say, decaffeinated in the center of your body. Can you perk up? Oh yeah. Hug those ribs up and in. On that note, I'm aiming to reduce my caffeine a little bit because I haven't been sleeping so well. I already cut out any afternoon caffeine ages ago, so that's already gone. Unless I'm on vacation and then it's like we're whiling out the whole time. But when I'm not on vacation, when I'm at home, I'm going no caffeine in the afternoons. However, I've also switched to where I make a French press every morning, which I love. And now 1/3 of the grounds that I put in my French press are decaf. So I still get the same amount of coffee flavor, which is really important to me, but I get to reduce the caffeine a little bit. Anyway, I'm sure all of you have already thought of this already, but in case you haven't thought about that, maybe you try mixing it up with a little decaf. Such a genius invention. And I know decaf also still has a tiny bit of caffeine, okay? So if you were about to tell me that, I already know that. It's fine. We're gonna hold the left knee bent. 8, last 6, last 4, 3, 2. Hold your left knee bent and give me tiny pulses, pressing your left heel up towards the ceiling. Keep hugging your front ribs in. I also want to say about caffeine, I'm not, like, me trying to reduce my caffeine has no implication on whether or not you are having the right caffeine level for yourself. And just in case you were curious, I feel like caffeine sometimes gets a bad rap, but it actually does improve athletic performance. So something positive about your morning cup. Lift. Lift. Give me 8 more pulses. 8. We're going to lay on our right side in 6, 4, 3, 2. You can lower your left knee down and now flip onto your right side. Notice the long edge of your mat, and we're going to stack our heels, our pelvis, the back of the rib cage, and the back of the head all along that line. Fold at your knees, fold at your hips here, point your toes. And now we're going to open the left knee up and away from the right knee, only opening as much as we can keep the left hip stacked on top of the right hip. Inhale, 2 counts, down. Exhale, 2 counts, lift. Nice. Now, for some of you, it might feel more comfortable to prop up your head. If that works better for you, you can go ahead. However, in this case, it might be a little bit harder to kind of hug that left hip away from your left armpit to keep both sides of your body long. Where if you have your head down, it's a little bit easier to find that length in the top waist. What you can do if you want to try this position, but it's just not feeling amazing, is you can fold up a little towel and put it on your arm for a little bit more of a lift, a little bit more of a cushion. Close. Open. Oh yeah. Close and open. I feel this so much every time. I don't need a band. I don't need any props. You don't need any props, right? If you just connect that brain to what you're working, that outer hip, feel it shorten to bring the left thigh away from the midline. 8, 7. If you close your eyes, maybe it feels like it's going faster. 6, 5, we're gonna hold it up. 4, ooh baby. 3, 2, hold it up. Now we're gonna flip the leg in the air. Woo, flip it. Bring your left knee towards your right knee. Hold here for just a moment. Without changing your hips, can you try to press the inner thigh even more into the bottom inner thigh and reach your toes even more forward? Yes, now flip it in the air. Knee goes back, toes touch. Flip it in the air, knee goes down, toes lift. Exhale, knees up. Inhale, knees down. Exhale, knees up. Inhale, knee down. Good. Toes to toes, knees to knees. It can be as small or as big as you can keep the pelvis totally stable. Ooh, wow, I feel this so spicy. 8. Draw your abdominals in. Whenever you're feeling too much intensity in one muscle group, just try to turn your attention to something else. I feel my butt too much. I go, okay, what can my abs do here to distract me? 4, 3, hold the knees together. Squeeze your inner thighs together as tightly as you possibly can. Reach those toes forward, forward, forward. 4, we flip. 3, 2, flip. Toes together, knee apart. Give me tiny pulses of that left knee back. Back, back. Ooh. Last 8. 6, we flip on our back. In 4, 3, 2, oh my gosh, flip onto your back. Last little section of this workout today, we have our glute bridges. Walk your feet in towards your bum. Hands go down at your sides. Open your chest. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, curl your pubic bone towards your face. Roll up into your bridge. In that bridge position, draw your abdominals nice and tight towards the center of your body. Knees, hips, and shoulders are forming one long diagonal line. Press into the left heel. And now exhale, lift your right leg into a tabletop position. That felt way harder for me this time. We tap the right toes down. We lift the right toes up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Nice. Now remember what I said. If you're feeling a little unstable, you can keep your right foot on the mat and just lift and lower that right heel, getting a little bit more stability by keeping the ball of the foot on the mat. We love options. We take them if we need them. All right, we're getting to the end of that day 9 here. Getting closer and closer to the end of the Move Strong Challenge. How you feel? Maybe not in this moment, but in general, I hope you feel energized. I hope you feel accomplished. I can't wait for day 10. It's gonna be a banger. It's gonna be great. Down. We're gonna hold that right leg up. In 8. Last 6. Last 3. 2, hold the right leg up. Give me tiny pulses. Lift, lift. Oh, my left butt cheek is so shaky. Final 8 counts. 8, we lower the right foot. Last 6. Last 3. 2, lower the right foot. Lift your hips a little bit higher. And then vertebra by vertebra, spine bone by spine bone, roll down till your pelvis hits the mat. Ooh, cross your right foot over your left knee. Grab on behind that left thigh and pull your thighs towards your chest, reaching your right thigh away from you to release that outer hip. Very good. And as you sit here in this stretch or lay here in this stretch, maybe it feels good to close your eyes. Trying to slow down your breathing. Switching sides. Left foot over the right thigh. Grab onto the back of the right thigh. Try to lengthen the left knee away from your left armpit. Slowing down the breath. Go ahead and hug both of your knees into your chest. Rock and roll yourself up to seated. You can turn to face me. And then as usual, give yourself a huge round of applause. Every workout is an accomplishment. Thank you so much for joining me for day 9 of your Move Strong 25 challenge, building strength, 25 minutes at home. I am so pumped to knock out week 2 with you tomorrow to finish this challenge with day 10. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.